Manchester United 3, Burnley 2. This is your full-time reaction from Old Trafford on this Saturday evening, where finally Manchester United have their first 3 points of the brand new Premier League season, which was a lot harder than expected. I didn't expect Burnley to come to Old Trafford today and score 2 goals at Old Trafford, but Manchester United made that look incredibly difficult for themselves today. That Burnley game was so up and down. It was like a bloody roller coaster ride. Like, that Burnley game was absolutely crazy. There should be no way they should be coming to Old Trafford and scoring 2 goals. Again, I would say there's more questions and answers from this performance today. I think Manchester United have got incredibly lucky. I think the refereeing today in Premier League football has been nothing more than a joke. I think some of the decisions I've seen today, especially in this game, but I would also say in the Chelsea game, I think the refereeing today in the Premier League so far on this Saturday evening has been nothing more than a complete joke. I think the standard of refereeing has gone out the window. I think some of the decisions in this game today were very unfair, and I think Burnley have come away from Old Trafford very unlucky not to claim a point. Was it a penalty? Was it not? I mean, I have looked back at the replays. I have looked at the decision that gave Manchester United that penalty. And I think, for me, in my opinion, and in my view, Ahmad has gone down way too easily. For me, I think he's more flopped to the floor instead of being tackled to the floor. I think Ahmad's gone down way too easy. And that is me being very honest as a Manchester United fan. I think Ahmad has gone down way too easy. I don't think it's a penalty, in my opinion, in my view. I think play should have been allowed to continue. But obviously, once the referee goes over to the VAR monitor and goes to check the incident, you know what's going to happen. Manchester United ended up getting awarded that penalty and Fernandes converting from the spot to give us this 3-2 win today. But I think Manchester United are only causing themselves more problems. I think they've got very lucky and I don't know. I would say they've got lucky, but I would also say we have got away with one massively. If we didn't win that game today and we didn't get the 3 points, it would still not surprise me that Ruben Amorim resigns next week. I've still got this gut feeling that he's going to quit. You can look at his body language, you can look at his facial expressions. Ruben Amorim still does not seem happy. He doesn't seem convinced, and I don't think he's got his head in the game now. I think obviously he just wanted to win this game today, get away from the international break, assess things and see what happens once this international break's over. Will he stay? Will he quit? Obviously, we don't know the answer to that question yet. I still think Ruben Amorim's going to go. I still think Ruben Amorim is very likely going to go because I don't think the performance is in there. I don't think a lot of these players are stepping up, and unfortunately player power still exists at Old Trafford. I'm glad we got the 3 points, but if we played anyone else, we would have lost it. As simple as that. Exactly. Billy is absolutely right. If we would have played anybody else today and it was a better side, Manchester United would have been taken apart. But we shouldn't be letting Burnley come to Old Trafford and score 2 goals. Obviously, I've seen the first Burnley goal. The defending for that Burnley first goal is absolutely ludicrous. Like, we didn't even close down the coming cross into our penalty area, but we left that Louis Foster unmarked inside our penalty area. I mean, who was there then? Where was the marking there? Like, the first Burnley goal is an absolute joke. No one closes down the cross. No one tries to prevent that cross from coming into our box. And literally, you're leaving Burnley players completely unmarked and completely free of space in our own penalty area. And we can't be doing that. We really can't be doing that, because it's only giving those teams a chance to put the ball in the net, and that is exactly what we did. The defending for the first goal is an absolute joke. No one's near that Burnley player, and that's what really frustrates me, because that goal again could have been prevented. You can't just let a free cross go into your penalty area. You've got to try and block it, or at least prevent it from coming into the penalty area. But you've also got to remember, you've got to do your job in the penalty area also. And when you've got no defenders around them, they're more likely going to put the ball in the back of the net and not. And that's what really frustrates me, because in that game today, I do feel like we were massively the better team. I thought we battered Burnley in that first half and they were there for the taking. But the problem is, if you look at the amount of chances we had on goal, we don't bloody take them. Formation is creating huge gaps in the pitch for the opposition to run to. What's your thoughts on Sesko so far? I think people need to get off Sesko's back. I think people are judging him very, very quickly. Like, he's only been at the club for about a month and people are already on his backs. I mean, someone's already compared Sesko to Wout Weghorst. Like, Sesko and Weghorst are completely different players. Sesko is 10 times the player that Wout Weghorst was at this football club. And I think people need to get off his back. I think people need to stop judging him. Like, he's not been here long. And obviously he's not had the best of starts so far, and 4 games in, he's not found the back of the net yet. But at the end of the day, that is going to be a problem. That is going to be a problem, and there will be judgment there. If Sesko doesn't find the net in the next 3 or 4 games, the judgment he's going to get is going to be absolutely crazy. And Fran has said there's never a penalty. United were lucky, Burnley were robbed, and you know it. Exactly. I think Burnley were robbed. And that is me being really, really honest. I think Burnley were robbed by a clear point today. I don't think it's a penalty. And that's me being really honest. And as a Manchester United fan, I don't like to see our players go down in the opposition penalty area like that. And I think Ahmad really thrown himself to the floor. And I've started to see it in Ahmad's last few performances. His attitude started to change. And I think the way he's acting on the pitch, I'm not exactly very keen on that. I think Ahmad should know better. I think he's gone to the floor way too easy. I think he's gone to the floor way too fucking easy for my liking. I think he should have got up and tried to carry on with play, but obviously he felt in that moment that he needed to go down to get that penalty. And at the end of the day, it's 3 points. It is a win is a win, but the performances aren't pretty. Like, the performances are not pretty. We are letting newly promoted Burnley come to Old Trafford and score 2 goals. Like, that should not be happening. As a promoted club who are most likely going to go back down, we should not be letting Burnley come to Old Trafford and score 2 goals. It's absolutely ludicrous that we are letting them get chances on goal, especially by that first half. We absolutely battered the shit out of them. We were much the better team. Look at the amount of chances we had on goal. Look how many goals we could have had if there was a bit of end product there. And that's still the major frustration. The lack of end product is such a big problem now. And again, I thought, in my opinion, in my view, we solved that. I don't think we have solved that end product at all, because the only one that is scoring goals to the new additions of our attack is Brian and Mbeumo. Like, that's 2 goals in 2 games now. And the amount of pressure he's going to now have on his shoulders because he's starting to step up, it's a little bit of a worry that he's the only one really contributing. And that's a little bit of a worry for me, because obviously we've brought Sesko 73 million, and 4 games so far he has failed to find the back of the net. That's a big issue for me. If it was anything, it should have been a free kick. The foul started outside the box. Exactly. Hello Bailey, how you doing, mate? Hope you're good. If you are new to my TikTok, smash that like button. Please give me a follow. I think Manchester United have got off very, very lightly. I feel like we have got away with this today. I feel like it's nothing more than daylight robbery. We should have had that game done at half time. That's what frustrates me. I know it's a win and 3 points is 3 points, but the manner of the performance today, yes, I did watch the F1, I watched the F1 qualifying. The performances today are not pretty. The football we're playing isn't exactly that great. But the football we were producing in today's game was something was like, where the hell was this on Wednesday? That was my big frustration. Where was this performance on Wednesday? Because if you can play like this against Burnley, where the hell was this against Grimsby on Wednesday? Where was this on Wednesday? You can play this type of football and you can create all these chances, but yeah, against Grimsby of League 2, you're fucking struggling. And that is the big frustration. Yeah, I'm watching the race tomorrow as well. And at the end of the day, I don't feel like Manchester United should have won this game. I don't think we should have won this game, because I think Burnley have got massively unlucky to have a penalty go against them, especially how close it was then to the end of the game. I think Burnley are coming away from Old Trafford not knowing how they've not got a point. Who's winning tomorrow? I'm going to go Oscar Piastri or Lando Norris for the Dutch Grand Prix tomorrow. I feel like Burnley have been robbed. I do feel like Burnley have been robbed. because they should have had a point. I don't like the way Ahmad's gone to the floor. I will say that. I don't like the way Ahmad has thrown himself to the floor. I think that's really, really pathetic. Especially where he's a good player and he's got that quality. But the way his body went down, I was like, surely that's not going to get given. But at the end of the day, if the referee has gone to the monitor and he has checked it, that is going to get given, unfortunately. So I think Burnley probably in the end probably can't have no complaints, but they probably feel like they deep down know they have been robbed. Burnley have been massively, massively robbed, and I feel for them. As a Manchester United fan, if I was a Burnley fan and I saw that, I would be like, that's no way near that's a penalty. That's nowhere near being going to get given. But at the end of the day, a decision has got to be made. A decision has got to be made, and the referee has got two minds here. He either gives this as a penalty, or the backlash he's going to get is going to be unreal. So the referee has kind of got no choice, especially with it being Old Trafford, especially with the fans on his back. If he doesn't give this decision, he's going to get absolutely bloody crucified. But I don't think it's a penalty. I don't think it's a penalty. I think the penalty in the first half was more than a penalty. I think the foul in the first half, that foul by Kyle Walker on Mason Mount, I don't know how that didn't get given. You could clearly see there was a foul. There was no problem with them disallowing the first one. I do feel like the first half one was more of a penalty than the second half one. I feel like we've been robbed of a Stonewall penalty in that first half. I feel like we've been massively, massively robbed. We are bad. We are really, really bad. Like, we are scraping barrels. We are scraping results today. We shouldn't be scraping by against Burnley. There's no way we should be scraping by. Especially the amount of chances we had. We should have buried them. We should have absolutely fucking buried them. But like I said, never should have been drawing in the first place. Exactly. We should have never been drawing that game. We absolutely ripped them apart. Burnley were that bad. That game could have been done at half time and we could have rotated. We were that good. We could have absolutely rotated the hell of that squad in the second half and changed the team completely. But obviously, because it was only 1-0, if you don't find the second goal, the nerves start creeping in. And unfortunately, typically Manchester United end up throwing a winnable position away. And I'm not surprised by it, by the way. I'm not surprised the amount of chances we didn't take. And I'm not really surprised we threw a 2-goal lead away. I'm really, really not that surprised because our defending's fucking laughable. We don't close down crosses and we leave Burnley players unmarked in the penalty area. That is what really, really fucking frustrates me. We leave players unmarked in our box and you think to yourself, well, if we don't do our job, they're going to score. And that's exactly what they did. I saw the first Burnley goal, and apart from that, Shaw and Mount have been playing well. I mean, Shaw had a good game today. I would even say to an extent Mason Mount played well today. Definitely defensive structure was horrid and these players can't find a net to save their life. Well, the only hope we've got at the moment is Brian Mbeumo. If I'm being really honest, the only hope we've got on goal at the moment is Brian Mbeumo. And as a £70 million signing, we didn't throw away a 2-goal lead. It went 1-0, 1-1 and then 2-1. Yeah, I get that. I've probably got that wrong and I should have explained it better. But my problem is we shouldn't be throwing leads away in the first place. We shouldn't be throwing a lead away in the first place. Both those Burnley goals could have been prevented massively. But unfortunately, we can't defend to fucking save our lives. And that's what really, really angers me. Because the defending for both goals is really, really shit. It could have been done so much better. And Mbeumo seems to be our best player. At the moment, RJ, you're absolutely right. You are absolutely correct. Mbeumo at the moment is the only hope we've got. He is the only hope we've actually got for an attacking sense. And that is worrying. That is really, really worrying. Because you can have Joshua Zirkzee, you can have Mason Mount, you can have Bruno Fernandes, you can have Sesko, you can have Matthias Cunha. At the end of the day, Mbeumo, 2 goals in 2 games, seems our best hope of any type of attack. And yes, the 2 chances he had in the first half, Zirkzee was woeful today. I thought Zirkzee was bad. I don't think Zirkzee had a good game at all. I didn't understand the substitution for Zirkzee. Like, I know Cunha, again, he's been the big first blow. He's the only player that seems to have any real discipline on the pitch. Exactly. Mbeumo's the only player that's got any type of discipline. And that is shocking because the rest of the players can't see that. A lot of those players throw their toys out the pram. Mbeumo just gets on with it. If you're new to my TikTok, by the way, give me a follow, smash that like button as well. In the first half he was alright, but second half, Jesus. Mazraoui was beautiful for the short amount of time he was on. We needed a proven Premier League striker and no European Cup games, exactly. My friend who was a Man United fan trying to tell me you've had a good start to the season. We've not had a good start to the season. 4 points from 9 is really shit. We should have beat Fulham. We've beat Burnley today. But we should have had 6 points from 9, and I would have taken that during the international break. Because after this international break's over, it's away to Man City and then at home to Chelsea. And God knows how we're going to get points at Old Trafford and the Etihad. Against those two, I don't think we've got no chance. I love United, but Dalot is absolutely tripe. Exactly. Diego Dalot is trash. The only good bit Dalot did today was find that ball for Mbeumo to get us 2-1 back in front. That was the only bit of decent football Dalot's played in his last few years as a United player. That's the only good thing I've actually seen Dalot do, was the assist for the Mbeumo 2-1 to put us 2-1 up. Apart from that, what did Dalot actually do? What did Dalot actually do in that game? Seeing your players celebrate beating Burnley like they were Man City. A lot of people are talking about this. A lot of people are talking about this overreaction. Look how we celebrated. I don't know why we did that. As a Man United fan, you think to yourself, God lads, it's only Burnley. Don't get your dicks out about it. Like, it's only Burnley, innit? I don't know why we celebrated the way we did. Like, honestly, I thought it was absolutely crazy. It was like they won the bloody cup final. We are scraping past fucking Burnley here, and they're celebrating like it means the world to them. And yes, the last few results have been really shit. But maybe if they would have won on Wednesday and won today, we wouldn't have seen that overreaction. And somehow those players wanted to do it. I don't know why, but it makes you sick. Who wouldn't celebrate the 7th win in the Prem since Amram has been in? Again, a win is a win. 3 points is 3 points, and I will take any win we can get. I will take 3 points any way we can get it. But I don't think we deserve the result today based on the refereeing decisions. And I wouldn't even base it on how many chances we didn't take in that first half. That game could have been over. You look at the 2 chances Mbeumo had on goal today. Those really should go in. The 2 chances Mbeumo had in the first half, both of them, in my view, in my opinion, should have really found the back of the net. They weren't exactly hard chances to put away either, and he had a good chance to bury both of those chances. Luckily, obviously, the Burnley goalkeeper got to the first one, and obviously the second Mbeumo attempt only just went past the post. So we easily could have been 4-5-0 up in that first half, because the chances were there to bury them. The chances were there to bury Burnley. And I'm sorry that we've only basically got Mbeumo we can rely on now, because it's really bad. I feel if we keep Amram for another season, something good would happen. But 7 wins in the amount of time is unacceptable for any Premier League team, let alone Manchester United. Exactly. Man United have been let off the hook. There's no way two ways about it. Manchester United have been let off the hook massively. They've gotten away with it today. If Mbeumo would have scored the first 2 chances in the first half that he had, we would have been comfortably 2-0 up. If Ahmad would have taken the chance he had on goal from the corner from the volley, that would have been 3-0. That would have been game, set and match. Attacking wise, we've improved, but defensively we're just as poor. Exactly, Dave. Thoughts on the Leeds game? Obviously, I'm not a Leeds United fan, but obviously a point is a point for Leeds, and 4 points from 9 I think they'd probably take for life back in the Premier League at this point. I think Leeds have done well since they've come back so far, but a point is a point. Nothing special about their game today. A 0-0 draw isn't exactly that special, but 4 points from 9 I think they would probably take for the start of their new campaign. I think that's what we could say about it. If you are new to my TikTok, give me a follow, smash the like button, would really appreciate it. We do welcome everybody on here. Amram is a proven manager, and I think the board are trying to give him time to fix it. Fulham were robbed. Yeah, Fulham were robbed as well. Fulham were robbed last week as well. Proven in Portugal in a league that is completely different to the Premier League. Exactly. The Premier League and the Portuguese league are very different from one another. They are both very different leagues. And obviously it hasn't been great since Amram's been here. It's not exactly been great, but I feel like if Fulham would have got the result last week, we could be in a lot worse shape. I'm not saying a point is great against Fulham because we should have won that game last week, but we didn't deserve to win. And I probably would say to an extent today that we didn't deserve to win either. I feel like we've got away with it. We have massively gotten away with it. And like I just talked about a few minutes ago, if you look at the two Mbeumo chances, those both really needed to go in. Both those chances needed to go in. And obviously you're disappointed when those chances don't go in because you feel like you've got the confidence to finish it off. We 100% deserve to win today. I would say based on the first half, we probably deserved to win that game. Based on the first half. But that second half, we absolutely fell to pieces. That second half, I don't know what happened. It's like we just went to sleep and Burnley smelt blood. I don't know why that second half was as shit as what I thought it was going to be. I thought we would carry on with the same intensity and the same pressure on them in that second half. You deserve to draw was never a penalty. I agree, Dylan. I absolutely agree, and I agree with M's comments as well. Second half was 50-50, and Dylan says you deserve to draw. It was never a penalty. I absolutely agree with both your comments. I absolutely agree. I think you're both right. We didn't deserve to win that game today. It was never a penalty. Ahmad has gone down like a bloody balloon. Honestly, and that's me being a Man United fan, by the way. That is me being a Manchester United fan. We did not deserve to win that game today. But Man United will take points any way they can get them. They needed to win that game today. Otherwise, tomorrow and Monday is going to be toxic. And obviously, that squad is still not strong enough. That squad from today is still not strong enough, by the way. We do need to make signings. We've got today, tomorrow, and most of Monday till 7 o'clock on transfer deadline day to improve that squad. And based on what's happened today is we still need a goalkeeper. And hello to MR TikTok. It was like a game for a relegation battle. Exactly. If you're new to my TikTok, give me a follow. Smash that like button. Would really, really appreciate it. Based on that squad today, Varchester United, exactly. I think based on that game today, with the amount of players we like, and hello to everybody in the live chat as well. Welcome to the live stream. Based on that result today, we need signings. We need players to come in before the deadline on Monday. We need a goalkeeper and we need a midfielder because obviously Kobe Mainu has still expressed a desire to leave, even though Kobe Mainu got minutes today. Will Mainu still be a United player on Monday by the 7 p.m. deadline? And will we get a midfielder in and will we get a goalkeeper? Because obviously Romano has tweeted that Manchester United's interest in the Aston Villa goalkeeper Martinez, basically. I can't say his bloody first name. We are still got an interest in him, but apparently the interest in Lehmann's is more concrete and United are trying to get that deal done. But we do need a goalkeeper. Like, we massively, massively need a goalkeeper. If anyone... And Dylan says we didn't look much better. I thought we looked good in the first half. I would say we looked good in the first half. But that second half, we really, really went to shit. That second half was absolutely dreadful. I don't know what happened. Maybe we got too confident. Maybe we got too cocky. Or maybe our head was basically just up our own asses thinking we are going to wipe the floor of them just like we did in the first half. Maybe we just got too cocky. Maybe we thought the game was done and Burnley weren't going to create anything. I'm not 100% sure really. But the second half, we fell to pieces. João Pedro and Enzo are going to ruin that midfield and defence when we play Chelsea. Ollie at the wheel. I mean, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is no longer at Besiktas, so don't rule out an interim manager if Ruben Amorim does quit, which I don't expect will happen. I think Ruben Amorim will still be here once the international break's over, but based on that performance today, I don't think he'll be happy. The 2 goals we've conceded are really, really shit. And obviously, I didn't see the second Burnley goal. If anybody can talk to me or mention it in the live chat, how did the second Burnley goal come in? Because obviously I didn't see the second goal, and obviously apparently Bienda has made another goalkeeping howler. So if anybody can talk to me, and thank you for the follow, Carl, very much appreciated, welcome. If anybody can talk to me about the second Burnley goal or go into detail about what happened, that would be very much appreciated, because I was out at the time the second Burnley goal went in. The formation you play and it's killing us. Yeah, it is, Kev. The formation we are playing is absolutely killing us. I completely agree. The formation is really, really shit. I don't know why we played... Apparently we played today a 3-4-2-1. And again, that was basically a 3-4-3. We basically played a 3-4-3, but basically played a 3-4-2-1, which was exactly the same what we did against Grimsby, which was exactly the same that we did against Fulham, and it was exactly the same against Arsenal. We basically played a 3-4-3, but just changed the numbers. That is all we did today. Cross came in and Anthony got a touch on it and it went under Bienda's arm. I mean, if that's the second goal, then that says a lot about our goalkeeping. I mean, it says a lot about Bienda. It says a lot about Onana. And if we're letting goals in like that, then fucking hell. I mean, if he's let that in and Anthony's just got a touch on it, then oh my God, we need a goalkeeper. I mean, that's terrible goalkeeping then. Again, that says a lot about we need a goalkeeper. I did watch the game. I had to go out this evening and I took my phone with me, and obviously I tried to watch the game out and about, but my Wi-Fi and my data would not work and I couldn't get back to the game at all. So I saw us go 2-1 up and I didn't then see the second Burnley goal, so I'm just having people explain it in the live chat because I missed the second goal. But again, that is really, really shit goalkeeping. Anthony's basically got a touch to the ball and it's gone under Bienda's arm. I mean, that again is really, really shit goalkeeping. And no wonder Ruben Amorim wants a goalkeeper. No wonder Ruben Amorim wants a fucking goalkeeper. I mean, it's not hard to tell that the goalkeeping is a major issue when Bienda is making howlers in goal again. Like, no matter who's in goal at the moment, we have got no confidence in the net. And again, the players are apparently losing confidence. Well, I could have fucking told them that. Like, the players are apparently are losing confidence in our goalkeepers. Well, it's not fucking rocket science to understand that both goalkeepers are really, really shit. And Man United do need a goalkeeper. Why no one's been brought in, I don't actually know. United apparently still trying to get Lemens, but apparently Emiliano Martinez interest is still there. We need a goalkeeper. We need a fucking goalkeeper. That's the big problem. We need a goalkeeper. It was similar to the Onana mistake last season in the Lyon first leg for their second goal. Fucking hell. Please smash that like button, by the way, and please give me a follow on TikTok. Would really, really appreciate it. Were you convinced today? Absolutely not. And Kev said the clock is ticking. We need to get a goalkeeper in. Like, we've only theoretically got We've only got 2 hours and 20 minutes till midnight. So we do need to get a move on. We've got Man City away next, and then we've got Chelsea at home as our next 2 Premier League games. God knows how we're going to get the points. It'll be interesting if we do get the results, but I do not trust those players. Those players have got off today. Those players have got off very, very likely that penalty decision got made. Because I tell you what, if that penalty does not get given and Ahmad is booked for dissent or he's booked for diving, then at the end of today, that game ends in a draw. It ends 2-2. We have got 2 points from 9. 4 points from 9 sounds a little bit better, but it's still not great. 4 points from 9 is really, really shit. But a win is a win. 3 points is 3 points. I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to make that look like a negative. I just don't think we deserve to win. I mean, you're letting easy goals in. You've got goalkeepers still making howlers. I mean, for the second goal, if it's gone under his arm, then that is really, really pathetic. Bienda should be doing better than that then. Bienda should be doing a lot better than what he's doing. But how can he have any confidence when he's making the mistakes? And obviously when he sees Onana making the mistakes Onana makes, you think to yourself, you sound so much like Mark Goldbridge. I mean, I don't have to take that as a compliment or not, but thank you. We need new players ASAP or the season is looking very shaky. But the problem is, mate, we've got 2 hours and about 29 minutes till it's Sunday. And we haven't signed anyone. We haven't sold anyone. The only here we go we got today was Rasmus Højlund to Napoli. So United have done fuck all in the last 2 days, bringing players in. We've basically let Højlund go on loan to Napoli with an obligation to buy, and we've let Garnacho go. And that is basically all we've done, which is really, really shit. It's really shit. And based on the players we've lost to injury today, surprise, surprise again, Mason Mount played injured for 30 minutes. Mason Mount again is injured. What a bloody surprise. Hospital FC with his brother Luke Shaw. Mason Mount played injured for 30 odd minutes. I mean, whoever's decision it was to start Mount in that game today is a joke. Whose ever decision it was to start Mount today, Mount is now injured again. Mason Mount is injured in brackets again. Like Mr. Injury Prone, Mr. Hospital Wing FC is now injured again. 60 million flop from Chelsea is now injured again because he played 30 minutes injured in that game. If he was injured, he should have indicated to come off. And fair play, he's tried to carry on. I get that. Fair play to try to carry on, to try and get through that injury and just show how strong you are. But if you're injured and you know you're injured, you need to be indicating to that bench, you need to get me off. Because the problem with Mason Mount is, Chelsea robbed us for Garnacho. I know, Garnacho's gone now. He's no longer our player and I'm not going to bloody talk about him. The problem is now, Mason Mount's injured. That's another player we've lost. And the problem with that is, we know how much Ruben Amorim loves Mount. We know Amorim is such a big fan of the player. And whatever injury Mount's got, we know that injury is going to be long. We know that injury is now going to be horrifically long. And the problem with that is, he likes to play Mount in that number 10 position just behind the striker. So one of his favoured number 10 options is now gone. That's a big problem. That's a big issue. Because we've now lost Mount. And I don't know what the injury is. I don't know the extent to the injury. But knowing injuries Mount's had in the past, we know how long he ends up staying out for. He could be out to the end of the year. He could be out to the end of the month. He could be out for a few days or a couple of weeks. But the problem is with that, who have you really got to replace him? You can't play Joshua Zirkzee in the number 10 position because Joshua Zirkzee's not a number 10. Joshua Zirkzee's not a number 10. So you can't put Zirkzee in that position. So that's going to be a big blow for Amorim because you're realising now, I'm going to need another addition in that number 10 position. I am now going to need more players because you've left it so late that we are basically going to have to try and scrape the barrel now to bring players in. And I don't think Manchester United realise this. I don't think they've got the brain power to realise, shit, we've lost Mount to injury today. And knowing how many injuries he's picked up, he could be out for God knows how long. And that's going to be a big blow because that is an option that we probably do need for this season gone. Because Mount stays out injured for God knows how long. Mount stays out for ages. We know what Mason Mount's injury record's like. And that's a big blow for him. Because he's got himself fit, he's got himself back, and now he's injured again. But it's not the only blow. This isn't the only blow from today's game. We've also lost Kuna. Matthias Kuna is out injured. Indicated straight away, hamstring's gone. One of our best players so far this season who's actually made a very good positive impact. Again, in that number 10 position, but also being forced to play down the middle as a false 9. Again, who's at fault there? I would probably say Amorim, because Matthias Kuna has started every single game so far. Started against Arsenal, started against Fulham, started against Grimsby, started today, and lasted 30 fucking minutes. And felt his hamstring and indicated to the bench, hamstring's gone. And we know what hamstring injuries are like. We know what these hamstring injuries do to these players. It rules them out for weeks. And we have got to hope and pray Kuna gets back from this quick. But they can't rush a hamstring injury. And the thing is, once it goes once, it will go again. And he's had hamstring injuries before. So that's a big worry now. Because if he's feeling that straight away, I think the problem is, right, he's having to play so much football because the rest of the players around him are basically shit. And he's basically having to do all the hard graft. And basically not just do the number 10 role, but also do the false striker role. And again, that is on Amorim. And yes, Josh, I'm fine, thank you. Hope you're having a good day as well, my friends. At the end of the day, Kuna really should be playing as the false 9. Kuna should be played in that number 10 position. And again, a striker really should have been starting that game today. You really could have started Kuna and Mbeumo behind Sesko and bench Mount to prevent Mount getting injured. Because if Mount started knowing he's injured and he's played 30 minutes of football, The problem with that is that injury is now only going to get worse because he's been playing through the pain barrier. And fair play for doing it, but he should have got himself off and indicated. And obviously he wants to carry on. I get that. He doesn't want to be on the sidelines again. But again, the problem with Mason Mount is the problem we've got. He gets injured, he's out for weeks. And he's out for God knows how fucking long. That is the big problem with Mount. And obviously losing Kuna as well is a big, big blow. He's been one of our best performers so far in that false 9 role, as well as in the number 10 role, and he's now out. He's now out for God knows how long. I hope Kuna gets back quick, but I don't want to rush his injury. I don't want to be rushing Kuna's injury, and then he does his hamstring again. But we are going to miss him. We've lost Kuna and Mount in one day. Martinez is still injured as well. So we've lost Kuna and we've lost Mount. Both of those injuries are a big, big blow because Amrim needs his squad fit. But then again, we're only going to be playing one game a week because we're out of the Mickey Mouse fucking Cup and the FA Cup doesn't exactly start yet. So I want them both back, but I'm not really saying Mount's going to be a big miss because we've got number 10s now. It might force Bruno a little bit further forward. It might force Bruno Fernandes a little bit further forward. And maybe Amrim can now move him into that number 10 role just behind the striker. And maybe it now gives Mainu a chance. If Mainu knows Mount's injured, he's deep down going to know, well, Amrim can move Fernandes further forward now. And he can play him behind the striker and play him next to Mbeumo, both in the 2 number 10 roles. And then you've got Sesko down the middle. That could perfectly balance that attack. Because Kuna, we can't rush this hamstring injury. Mount is Mason Mount. And that might help put Bruno in that number 10 role where he feels most comfortable. Because Bruno Fernandes is not a centre midfielder. And yet again today, we saw Ruben Amorim put him in that centre midfield role. Now, bro, he will put Ahmad and Mbeumo. I mean, he could do that, Billy. He could do that. He has now got 3 or 4 options ready to do with that number 10. He could play Mbeumo and Fernandes in that number 10 role, or he could go with Ahmad and Mbeumo in that number 10 role with Sesko in front of them to obviously get by until Mount and Kuna are back. But this might force, he likes Bruno in the pivot for some weird reason, exactly. I don't think Bruno Fernandes in the pivot works. I think Bruno Fernandes in that role is absolutely shit, and I don't think it benefits us at all. So I don't know what's going to happen now. What's Ruben Amorim going to do? It's going to probably give Mainu a chance. And maybe Agate gets back into the team. Or maybe it's still going to be Casemiro. I'm not 100% sure. It makes him look like a bad player. Exactly. Completely agree. It might give a load of these players opportunities. Like, it might give them an opportunity. Right, Mount's injured. Right, I can go into that team. Right, Kuna's injured. I can go into that team. They're both going to be big blows because Amrin will say these players' injuries are going to be big blows to the club. They're both going to be big injuries to the squad because they are going to be missed. What makes Bruno look bad? Sorry, just joins. Oh, we're just talking about what's happened with the injuries to Kuna and Mount, and hopefully that gets Bruno out of the centre of midfield and then it pushes Bruno a bit further forward and it finally gets him in that number 10 position where he needs to be. Because obviously, in my opinion, I don't think Bruno's a centre midfielder. I think Bruno's a lot more better in that number 10 position just behind the striker. And obviously with Kuna and Mount's injuries, we could put Bruno there with Mbeumo to play behind Sesko, or he could go with Ahmad and Mbeumo behind Sesko, or because that's all the options he's got. We've only really now got 3 number 10s left. I don't think a lot of people realise this. We've only now got 3 number 10. Bruno's a top class player in the wrong position. Exactly. Completely agree. It's me _Sam458 has said, I would have taken that 100 million at the start of the transfer window if I knew he would be a midfielder. Exactly. So would I. I would have taken that 100 million in a bloody heartbeat. Why we've not do it? Why have we not done it? It's because we're bloody idiots. Because we don't have a brain. And unfortunately, a lot of people will say, right, you're pushing Bruno further forward now. We don't need to play Bruno in that midfield position. But if Amrim still does it, if Amrim is still playing Bruno in that centre midfield position, knowing Kuna and Mount are both out injured, you've got to question, like, what the bloody hell is he doing? Like, what's he doing? There's a perfect opportunity to chuck Bruno in the number 10 role and get Mainu in that midfield with an Agate or Mainu and Casemiro. But I still think he's going to stick to his principles. Even though these two players are injured, he might still stick to his principles. No, I'm playing Fernandes in the midfield and that is exactly what I'm going to do. He might do that. I'm not sure he will. I don't think that's the correct thing to do. I think get Bruno further forward now and let's start playing some football. Because Bruno is in his most preferred position. Get him behind Sesko and Sesko will score goals. Because I don't like the shit Sesko's getting. I don't like the crap that's being thrown at him. Oh, he's not scored in 4 games. Give the guy a bloody chance. Like, I can't believe people are writing off Sesko already. You paid 73 million for him. We've only paid 20 million in instalments. We've only paid actually 20 million in instalments to get this player in. We've only paid 20 million in instalments. So I think people need to watch how they say, oh, Man United have spent a shitload of money, where in fact we've actually done some of these players in instalments this summer instead of just chucking the money directly at these clubs. Sesko won't be the player people think he is here for a while. Exactly. There's no way people... Yeah, absolutely robbed. Yeah, Burnley were robbed, Mitchell. I completely agree. Burnley were robbed. They shouldn't have come away with nothing. Exactly. He is a learner driver. Thank you for the follow, Aaron. Very much appreciated. Yeah, I know you're fuming. I absolutely agree with you. And I'm a Man United fan. I feel for you. Burnley should have come away with a point. Based on the first half, we deserved to win that game. Based on the second half and then the penalty decision, I think you should have come away with a point. And that's me being really honest. And I completely agree with you. Instalments will just mess you up down the line though. But it's better than giving them 70 million straight up front, isn't it? I think it's still better than throwing 70 million at them. They did come out fighting in the second half. Premier, I'm sure, hates only us, Burnley. I think Burnley should have come away with a point. I think Burnley should have came away with a point. We were the better team in the first half. We fell asleep in the second half. Burnley battered us. And then obviously a debatable penalty's been given, which I don't think's a penalty. I think Ahmad has gone down really, really soft. But I'm not the referee. I'm not VAR. I'm not making these decisions. But I'm sure there will be rage there and anger and frustration because you feel like you should have got a point. I think you should have got a point. I think Ahmad has gone down very, very soft. And I don't think it's a penalty. I personally don't. If I saw somebody else do that, I would have been fucking fuming. Debatable pen, but so was Mount, so something needs to be done. Plus, also, your first goal is a disgrace. Yeah, because it did go down as a Burnley own goal. Like, obviously, the Casemiro shot is hit off the bar. It's bounced off the goalkeeper, bounced onto Cullen, and it's gone over the line. And obviously, goal line technology has given it because the ball has gone over the line. So, if you are new to my TikTok, by the way, please feel free to give me a follow. Smash that like button. I welcome everybody on here. But yeah, I think United have got away with this today, and they have got away with it massively. There's no two ways about it. United have got lucky. Lucky United, I'm going to call them today. Because there's nothing pretty about letting Burnley score 2 goals. There's nothing pretty. Like, you've had to win from the penalty spot. No, the foul is, if it wasn't a foul, then Bruno had the audacity to move the ball 10 yards further forward. No chance we deserve to accept the win and move on. That's exactly what I'm doing, Ben. So, yeah, we've got to accept the win. We've got to accept the 3 points any way they come. Because at the end of the day, if we don't win that game today and it ends in a draw, the Ruben Out Brigade are going to keep banging their drums. Binder was trying to save that second goal even though Burnley players were celebrating. Well, it's because Binder's shit in goal, mate. Binder's not a good enough goalkeeper. That's the problem. Neither of our goalkeeper options are great. Both goalkeepers are shit. I want Ruben to stay. I want Ruben to stay, Ben. I want Ruben to stay as well. Burnley was being rough, so they deserved it. The offside is the most annoying thing. Obviously, the goal is up. The Burnley equaliser is offside. Like, the Burnley goal is offside. You have to look at the replays. I said that was offside. But it was very, very tight. I'm a winger. I would probably do better than Onana and Binder. I agree. I think myself I would do better than Binder and Onana. And I'm not even a bloody goalkeeper. I don't have to be a professional footballer not to be better than both of them. I think everybody could be better than both of them. Like, I just think now, What we need to do is go and back the manager. That is what I want to see now. After today, we might now have to jump in the market for a midfielder because we've basically now only got 3 options left. Without Kuna and without Mount, the midfield options are going to dwindle. That's the big problem we've got, and I don't think Man United can risk it. Can we just ignore Onana and focus on Biinda? Like, Biinda isn't good enough. Biinda and Onana are nowhere near the level. Like, we need a proper goalkeeper in between the net, and we don't have one. We're still negotiating for Lamens as it stands right now, and apparently if that deal doesn't happen, we're going back for Martinez from Villa. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen now, but based on the players we've lost today, based on the fault for the second goal, we have got to go and get a goalkeeper. And I think Mount and Kuna's injuries are going to have to speed up the deal for a midfielder. But who can we get? Apparently David Ornstein is apparently talking about United are going to try and sign a midfielder on loan. On bloody loan. I don't want a midfielder on loan. I want a permanent midfielder now. And the problem is, if Mainu is still itching to say, I want to go, before Monday's deadline, I want to go on loan. Mark Goldbridge was talking about this on the United Stand, funny enough. Mark Goldbridge was talking about this. Why don't we go back to Brighton and say, look, Mainu wants to leave. We'll let you have Mainu on loan, but can you give us Belieber? But the problem is, if you let Mainu go, the only problem I would say if you let Mainu go, you've only got Casemiro, Agate and Belieber. That's all you've got for the midfield. We haven't got anything else. We will need 2 midfielders on deadline day. We'll need 2. We'll only have Bruno, Agate, Casemiro and Belieber. We will still need another midfielder. We need 2 on deadline day. I would go to Brighton and say, look, we'll give you Mainu on loan if you do us a deal for Belieber now. We'll give you money and Mainu on loan. That's what I would do. Because Mainu apparently still does not want to stay. I mean, Kone, I think Kone's injured. Remengo. I think Kone's injured. So he ain't going to be back anytime soon. Loan is good because you can try before you buy. A loan with an option to buy for someone in midfield would be great for us at the moment. But the problem is who that midfielder's going to be. I don't know. I don't know what midfielder we are going to try and get on loan. If it's a loan deal, then fucking hell. The only midfielder I think we could go for, I would cheekily go to Real Madrid. Would you let us have Camavinga on loan? Would you let us have Camavinga? I mean, that might be an option. No one's thought about that. But I think we go back to Brighton. We'll let you have Mainu on loan if you do us a deal for Belieber now. And we'll give you money and we'll give you Mainu. And we'll do it today. That's what I would do. But I don't think Man United have got the brain up here to understand what I've just said. Club's a disgrace. Yeah, exactly. The problem is it's way too little too late, Billy. It's too little too late. It's nearly Sunday now. In 2 hours it's going to be Sunday. And we haven't sold anyone. We haven't brought anybody in. I say we bring up a young talent for the under-21s because our squad is full of old players. It wouldn't suit the system. Think we should just buy Valverde, works his socks off. Camavinga won't want news. Yeah, exactly. Ivan's absolutely right. Please smash that like button, by the way, and please give me a follow on TikTok. Would really appreciate it. I don't know what we're going to do. I generally don't know what's going to happen between now and Monday. I don't know what's going to happen. But we are going live for transfer deadline day. We are going to go live for transfer deadline day. I have decided to do that. So we're going to be live from probably about 2 o'clock on Monday, right till the 7 p.m. deadline. I'm not going to get up too early because obviously it's a long, long day. Nothing will happen, mark my words. We've got to do a goalkeeper and we've got to bring a midfielder. I think after the Kuna injury and then Mount's injury, they're going to have to do something. And I think after the goalkeeping howlers in the last 2 games, they need to bring a goalkeeper. I think it will be Lamens and a midfielder on loan. That's what I think it will be. I think we should go back for Belieber and give them Mainu on loan. That is what I do after today, but I don't think we've got the brain power to do it. But like I say, let's see what happens from now till Monday, till the 7 p.m. deadline. Will we get a goalkeeper? Will we not get a goalkeeper? Will we get a midfielder or will we not get a midfielder? I don't know what's going to happen. But Man United, from somewhere, have walked away with a 3-2 win today. Manchester United have walked away with somehow 3 points from that Burnley game. The biggest talking point is, was it a penalty? Was it not? Were Man United lucky and were Burnley robbed? That is the biggest two questions I've got from today's result. A win is a win, 3 points is 3 points. But looking back at that late decision, I don't think it's a penalty. I think the first half penalty should have been one. I think the second penalty was given shouldn't have been. Burnley were unlucky, they were not robbed. Exactly. I think that's what we can say for today's full-time result. So it's finished Manchester United 3, Burnley 2. We finally have our first win of the Premier League season. We finally have 3 points. 4 points from 9 is okay. It's not brilliant. It's not the best, but a win is a win. We've got 3 points. So we're going to leave it there. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you to all the new followers that have joined this community day. Massive shout out to all of you. We've got 3 points. We finally have our first win of the season. Let's see what happens from now till Monday, till the transfer deadline day, which we will go live on Monday from about 1 o'clock to 7 p.m. deadline on Monday evening. We'll be back for transfer deadline day to go right through till the 7 p.m. deadline. Enjoy the rest of your weekends, whatever you're all doing. You're absolute legends. You're all legendary. Stay safe, be nice, be kind to each other. You're all legends. You're all legendary. I'll see you all on the next one. Manchester United 3, Burnley 2. We finally have our first win of the season. Come on, United.